This is Marty Constant, and we are talking to Tamsen Webster.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, hello. And Tamsen is the author of The Red Thread, and I first saw her during NSA Influence. It might have been NSA Thrive, I think it was.
So
And
main stage would have been Thrive. Yep.
it was Thrive. So your message really landed. So NSA Illinois is going to be having you in February talking about a great topic. And what are we going to be talking about, Tamsin?
We are going to be talking about compact keynotes, how to get a big old message into a tiny amount of time without losing any of its power.
And why is that so important today?
Well, I think a lot of folks that are speakers or aspiring speakers have seen that a lot of these time slots that we've got to speak in just get smaller and smaller. And even if they don't start smaller, there's any number of times when we're speaking and all of a sudden the person in front of you goes over, or something goes on too long, and suddenly this 45-minute slot that you have drops down to like 10 or 20. And you worked hard on that content, and so I don't believe in just dropping out a big part of your whole section of what you're going to present. So I wanted to find a way to allow people to kind of build a message and build a talk like an accordion, so it can shrink down to the as small as you need it to be, as simple as a sentence. That's one of the things that we're going to be working on, but all the way up to 45, 60-minute keynotes, book length workshops, any of that.
So, you mentioned something that happens to a lot of speakers. They run into a situation where they have 30 minutes, not 40 minutes.
Yeah.
What is the advice you would give to a speaker that has to call an audible on this and decide what you want to present?
Yes. So the most important thing when suddenly you don't have enough time is to gather all your resources and your focus around the most critical points that people have to understand in order to align with and eventually adopt your idea. So, but that means, of course, that requires what those critical points are to begin with. And like I said, if it's something that you can just drop out, it probably wasn't critical in the first place. So essentially, it's really understanding that if you had to cut everything down to its very, very barest bones, what would those bones be? And based on how people process information, how they decide to change their thinking on behavior, we can actually know the nature of those things. They have to be things that people already want and things that people already believe in, but structured in a way that allows them to tell and build a story that they'll tell themselves. So at the very minimum, you can take a big talk down to, I would say, at minimum, 3 or 4 points. And then when you lose time, it's about not dropping out whole sections. It's about changing the depth and the detail with which you go into each of those critical points.
And you are going to be giving a presentation in February of 2024 for NSA Illinois.
Yep.
What is the one tip that you would like to leave with us about messaging before we close today?
Oh gosh, wow. That just one. Well, I would think actually it sounds simple, but it's amazing to me how many people miss this step. And that is to anchor your message, no matter what length it is, in something that your audience already wants, a question they already know they have, a problem they already know they need to solve. Now, I know that goes against a lot of advice out there. A lot of times people are saying, well, you need to reveal a real problem. You do, but if they don't understand that you can also answer the question that they actually know they have, you're never actually going to get their attention to solve the problem that they have. So anchor your message in that. I like to frame it as a question, and a question your audience is already asking. Make it as important and urgent for them as they think it is, and make sure it's something that they will not readily unwant. So that's the biggest tip I can give you, because if you start there and you've got a great core question like that, everything else will start strong too.
Yes, great tip on the question. And we look forward to having you in February. And so we will see you soon.